Hey, Coach. Against this team, you guys have historically struggled to
You're
get
gonna
out and
remind
trend.
me of that, huh?
Of course, you got to set the context. But tonight, you guys were much better at getting out and running. Just what was the message for you guys before the game to kind of get the right oomph, I guess?
Yeah, obviously, it's something I hadn't said the previous times, right? The I didn't think we started the game with the level of aggression that we needed to have. Not that we were competing, but there's just another level, particularly you know as physical as they were, particularly in their starting lineup. And I thought as the game progressed, we got better defensively. Maybe the biggest thing in my mind was early in the game. We were in the lane and we were taking some really tough shots. You know, some you'd make, but if we had our eyes out, um, and got better shots, and when that happens, it's really hard to get matched up. And with their size and Turner and Siakam, we're not as big right now. Um, so those cross matches become difficult for us in transition. So it's like kind of a double whammy. And I thought the second half, there's one play in particular where Karras got in the lane and kept his feet and found George on a little circle behind, and plays like that. Not only do we get a better shot, but it's easier for us to defend. Thought that was really important.
Coach, you talked about them having a little bit more length and size on their team, but
Hmm.
you all were plus 28 uh, in the paint tonight. Just talk about you all's ability to pretty much just live in the paint and get to the paint, get to the basket at will.
Yeah, if we're spaced and we run, that gives us an opportunity to get in the lane. And again, I thought we finished better later after we were kicking it out and forcing them to guard some shooters. But um, I like I like us attacking the rim. It's I like the three. I like the rim more. And we have a saying that the rim will reveal itself. So if you're going in there and you're thinking about what's going on out here, um, it becomes clear if you have an open look at the rim too. So hopefully that's something we can continue to do. They're a really good team, and they're playing without Tyrese, who's been on a tear. So good for us to get this one. And we know we got our work cut out for us the day after tomorrow.
Coach George had 12 in the fourth. The bench, another great night. 50 off the bench for the entire team. That's been something that for the last few games has propelled you all.
Hmm.
How do you see that continue to go forward as you continue to make a playoff push?
Well, I think we're thinking more about just this group finding itself right now, and as that happens, um, and guys get more and more comfortable, playing with each other, it gets back to our spacing. If we are undersized with that lineup, and we're trading threes for twos at various times, the biggest challenge we have when we're small is to defensive rebound. And I'll point Trey out in particular tonight because I don't think there's a possession where he's trying to keep somebody off the glass that's smaller than him. So his competitiveness in those situations, even if it means you don't have to get a rebound, and same thing with George, all those guys, Terrence, they're usually having to fight a bigger guy in the glass, and we have to rebound like that collectively. And if we are giving up size, that's all the more reason that we have to run.
Coach Mo and Onyeka started with George and Clint coming off the bench, but it seemed like as you got close to the end of the game, Mo with Clint more, and maybe George with Onyeka. Was that sort of a conscious thing, or was that maybe a product of something else?
A lot of times matchups you can either chase matchups or try to make them adjust to you. We felt like Onyeka, I thought he did a really good. Siakam's such a good player. He's going to make some shots, and he's going to make some shots over you. You just want to make him work, and so that's a tough situation for us. When they're big with Turner, and Siakam, and we're putting our center on Siakam. So Mo mitigates that some, as opposed to George. And then we with that group, there isn't as much of a regular substitution pattern. That's something those guys understand, and just trying to find different combinations that can be effective together, to your point.
Coach, when Trey had his breather at the fourth quarter, the team was down, and when he came back on, they were up. Just how important is it for him to be able to get a break, and the team, rather than drops back, actually thrives?
Yeah,
maybe not thrives, but
Mm-hmm.
he comes back and he's got a lead to play with.
No, it's big. Guys don't. Trey doesn't. No one likes to come out of the game, and particularly, they went zone a couple times. Trey's obviously really good against the zone. There's certain lineups that we have some guys that are comfortable in those situations. When Trey came out and they played zone, I thought Dyson's aggressiveness and confidence it's really good. And I have so much confidence in him. And he was one of the main guys I thought that, his decision-making in the second half when he did get in the paint. He had a shot, and then there were times he kicked it out. And, I think that those possessions, we had some really good offensive possessions during that stretch. And then Trey gets to come back in with a breather, which is important.
Coach, can you tell us, about the progress of Zachary Redache in 3 points? Because tonight he made a few very important shots for you.
Yeah, I think, we've seen Zach, just continue to improve. And, sometimes you see it when the box score says he makes some shots. There's other times when maybe the ball doesn't go in, but he's doing other things that are less noticeable. I thought Zach had a really good floor game tonight. One of the things that he does really well for us, and he runs, and he's also, with his size on the defensive glass, he's a really good defensive rebounder. I think he's going to get more and more comfortable when he does rebound. He's got so much confidence in Trey that he'll get off it and run. But I think as Zach continues to evolve from a 19-year-old to a 20-year-old, we'll see him being even more aggressive in other situations. But I love the fact that there's no hesitation on his shot. And as I've, continued to say, and I'll say it again, when you work, good things happen. And he works on his game. Good? Okay.